the person that you refer to as Jabari, did you also refer to him as Bari?
Yeah, Bari.
So if we say Jabari or Bari, we're talking about the same person?
Yes.
That person, Jabari, how close were you to him?
I would say pretty close, yeah.
Was he someone that you would see on a regular basis?
Yeah.
Did you have problems in the time that you knew him with him specifically?
Mm-hmm.
Is that no?
No.
Okay. Were you with Jabari the day before this incident on November 5th of 2021?
Yes, I was.
That day, November 5th, where in the country were you with Jabari?
We actually missed a flight. We were supposed to go to Chicago, but we was in LA.
Okay. So the whole time you're with him, you're in Los Angeles, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you live in Los Angeles at the time?
No.
What state did you live in November of 2021?
New York.
How long have you been in Los Angeles on November 5th, 2021? So if you can tell us the exact day that you flew in, that's fine, or if you can just give us an estimate of how many days you've been in Los Angeles.
Probably flew in, I think the 5th
So that day?
or the 4th, I don't know. Like, my artist was in town, so he was recording. So I don't know, it was a while ago. I'll have to look at text messages or something like that.
Okay. Would that refresh your recollection?
Yeah.
Okay. May I approach him? Oh, I'm sorry.
You don't have to.
Yeah, I apologize. You told us that. Refresh your recollection.
Yeah.
Okay. So what days were you specifically in Los Angeles with your artist while he was recording?
Let me see that again. What date is it?
What did you
I was
attempt to?
reading it. I didn't look at it.
Hold on. What did you attempt to refresh his recollection
A
with?
text message.
Is it a screenshot?
Yes. I wasn't going to mark it as an exhibit.
You don't have to. If it's just used to refresh his recollection, it doesn't have to be an exhibit.
Let me see the date. I was just reading it.
Yeah, take your time.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so what days were you in Los Angeles with your artist?
Probably got there the 3rd day.
Okay.
Probably flew in the 3rd. Because I got on the Airbnb. That's pretty close to my hotel.
Okay, Terell, you got to keep your voice. Try to. Your voice is soft, so try to speak into it.
So what I think you're saying is you arrived in Los Angeles, to the best of your recollection, November 3rd of 2021, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
And your artist, the artist that you were managing was recording music the 4th, 5th, and 6th, correct?
I believe so, yes.
How did you get to Los Angeles on the 3rd?
What do you mean?
Meaning you're from New York, how did you get here?
Oh, flew.
When you say you flew, did you fly on a private plane or on a commercial jet?
On Delta. Commercial.
Did you have to go through airport security?
Yeah.
Okay, you said you met up with Jabari on November 5th in Los Angeles, correct?
Yeah.
Do you recall where you met him?
When I first met Jabari?
Yeah. Well, I
When
mean,
I first linked him?
that day, November 5th, where did you meet him?
In his apartment. I mean, in his house.
And is that in Los Angeles?
Mm-hmm.
Is that yes? Is that
Yes.
While you were with Jabari that day, did you overhear a conversation between Jabari and the defendant, Mr. Mayers?
Yeah, we was on our way back from the airport, and he got a call from Rakim.
So the defendant called Jabari,
Yeah.
and can you describe for the jury how it was that you were able to hear the defendant on that call?
We was in the back of the SUV, and he got a call from Rakim. He put the phone on his stomach. So he was laying back in the truck, and he put his phone on his stomach and just was like listening, like talking to him.
Was the
And I'm in
phone
the other chair.
Was the phone on speaker?
Yeah,
So you could hear both sides of the conversation?
yeah.
What was the nature of the call between Jabari and the defendant?
It started off first, I believe, like Rocky was trying to get Barry to come to this complex con 10-year anniversary thing, and Jabari declined, and the conversation got kind of weird, like, and then Jabari says something like, "Oh, I see you got ills and 12 on the jet," and it became like an inside joke because Rocky hasn't hit them, and it just became an inside joke, kind of. So then Rocky's like, "Oh yeah, you know, I got my niggas with me, boom, 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 whatever." And then instantly after that, he says, "Fuck that nigga Relli." And I'm like, I'm sitting in the back of the chair, and I kind of get up, and I'm like, and then Barbie like stops me. He's like, and then I'm listening, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I don't fuck with." Can I say what I want to say?
Yes.
Say it.
So he pretty much was like, "Oh, I don't fuck with that nigga. He mad emotional, like this, that, and the third." Pretty much. It was so long ago, but it was in the contents of that. And then Jabari's like, "What you mean you don't fuck with him?" And he's like, "I just don't fuck with him. I don't like that nigga. Like this, that, and the third." And after he said something about like it's so long ago, but he was like, I'll beat him up or something like that. So, you want to keep going?
Let me stop you. You said that you keep saying he said. Were those all things that the defendant said specifically?
Yeah.
So he was the one that said he doesn't fuck with you, correct?
Yeah.
Had you said anything at that point in the car that would have alerted him to the fact that you were actually in the car?
No, he didn't know I was there.
Did
I
Jabari?
wanted to say something, but Ari was like kind of put his hand to the side to like my leg, you know what I mean? And I was just listening.
I'm assuming then that Jabari didn't tell him, "I'm in the car with."
Oh no.
Okay, so as far as you knew, the defendant had no idea that you were in the car.
No, he had no idea.
Other than the specific things that you already said he said about you, is there anything else that you can recall that the defendant said about you on that call?
Not at the moment. It was like 3 years ago. So like, I got anxiety. I got anxiety right now. So it's like trying.
In the past, have you said that on that call the defendant said, referring to you, "He's a bitch"?
Absolutely.
All right. At that moment, on November 5th of 2021, were you aware of tension between you and the defendant?
See what you
At the point that the defendant is saying those things about you on the phone, were you also feeling tension in your relationship with him?
I mean, it's kind of always been like that. It's really hard having a relationship with Rocky.
Can you explain that?
I mean, you want me to tell me my personal experience, or
Yes.
I feel like he's fake.
How so?
He lies a lot. Like, I don't see him, so it's like, how we gotta have a relationship? You know what I mean?
Is there anything specific that you can think of?
Yeah, with like my companies or just anything, like overall, like, you know what I mean? Like I had this one joke I call him Mr. 6 month man, because I would see him every 6 months. You know what I mean? But then when he come around, it's like, it's fake. You know what I mean? Like, what are we supposed to be in this ASAP thing for? It's all smoke and mirrors.
Did you actually voice your displeasure
Oh
to
yeah.
him?
Yeah.
How did you do that?
Through text messages, but nothing ever like threatening him or anything, just mostly telling him like, you gotta tighten up, this shit fake.
But you would text message him and say,
And he won't text me back. He would never text me back.
okay.
I'll probably see him and we'll have a conversation. He'll be like, he'll laugh, like, oh bro, you emotional or something like that. And intense, like, shit like that.
When he calls you emotional, you heard that as an insult to you, correct?
Not really.
Okay, how did you take it?
Like he's trying to shoot me off. Like using that as like leverage to be like, not get business done, I guess.
All right, I want to direct your attention to the very next day, so November 6th, 2021, the day of this incident. Where were you staying at that night in Los Angeles?
Staying at the Lowe's Hotel in Hollywood.
And that evening, did you have any plans to meet up with the defendant at all?
No, I haven't spoken to him in months, probably prior to that. I texted him, but he never answered me back.
You mentioned in your earlier answer that there was this event called Complex Con that was going on that weekend, correct?
Yes.
And I believe you said the defendant was actually performing at that concert series, correct?
Yeah.
Did you have plans to go with the defendant to Complex Con?
No. I wasn't on that jet. I didn't get no phone call, so why would I, you know what I mean?
So that's, I guess, what I'm asking you to explain. As far as Complex Con, you had no plans to go there, and certainly not to go with him, correct? Did you have plans to go with Ills or with 12?
No.
What was your business in Los Angeles at that time?
Working with my artists.
And if you can recall, what are the hours that you're working with your artists?
I booked pretty much all day sessions. We was finishing up a mixtape for, I believe one of these labels wanted me to like show them like something like better than, cause I had a couple songs, so they just wanted to see like a compilation of the work that I'm doing.
Okay. How long? You're saying hours, but how many hours would these sessions be?
I don't know. I would be in and out. I would never stay in the studio that long.
Okay.
I just book it for the artist.
At around 9:23 that evening, did you receive a series of calls and text messages from the defendant, Ills, and 12E?
Oh yeah.
At the time that you were receiving those communications, what were you doing?
I was sleeping.
Mark my next exhibit, Your Honor.
12.
Well, it is a single photograph, a screenshot of a call log. Your Honor, can you approach?
No. Let me see.
I'm just showing you.
Right.
Yeah. I'm going to show it to you. You recognize what you see here?
Yeah.
And what is this?
This is my call log.
And is this a photograph that you specifically took? Like a screenshot?
Yeah.
Okay. And what is reflected in your call log here?
What do you mean?
Okay, all these numbers are in red. Does that mean anything to you?
Missed call?
And who were the people that you were missing calls from starting at the top of the page?
Rocky. That's the largest number. That's 12B, 12B. Elijah, Rocky.
Okay. you receive those missed calls kind of in quick succession? Meaning like right after each other?
I don't know. I woke up to a FaceTime call from Rocky. So then after I noticed I had all those missed calls, I didn't even like wake up and notice the calls.
Prior to you waking up, did you receive any text messages from the defendant?
Yeah.
So you say you received a bunch of missed calls while you were asleep. You woke up, you answered your phone, talked to him, and then you kind of went back and looked at your phone afterwards. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
And that's when you saw you had a bunch of missed calls from him and Elijah at 12. Did you also have text messages from him?
Yeah.
We'll mark my neck. Find the approach with people's 13 now. This, you recognize what you see here?
Yeah.
And just in general, what is this photograph?
This is a screenshot.
Of your phone?
Mm-hmm. Of me and Rocky's
Is that
text
yes?
message. Yes.
And is this screenshots, text messages that you received from him that day?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You said yes?
Yes.
Sorry. Every time you say that, or he's going to
Just
ask
a
you.
nervous.
Yeah, but if you can, try to say yes or no.
Yes.
So there are 3 messages at the top that are in gray. Are those from you or are those from the defendant?
That's from Rocky.
And if you would read them one after another, what do they say?
Where you at? Question mark. Let's get to it. Stop ducking my calls.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. When he texted you, specifically the phrase "let's get to it," did you know what he was referring to?
I mean, I had kind of an idea that he wanted to probably fight or something, or just argue or something. I don't know.
What gave you that idea?
The day before his conversation.
So you still had that conversation that he had with Jabari in your head at the time you read that text message?
Yeah, that conversation spoke volumes because I never heard him talk like that. And over the whole, many years I know him, I told him a bunch of times, if you ever had a problem with me, let me know, because shit's not adding up.
Okay. When you said that you thought he wanted to fight you, what do you specifically mean by that phrase, fight?
Like, what do you mean by that?
Do you mean physical violence? Do you mean an argument? What do you
Yeah, like an
what do you mean by
argument,
that phrase?
maybe like a physical, I don't know. I don't know what he was thinking.
Did, at that point, were you wanting to have a physical fight with him?
No.
Those text messages that you read from him, when you read those, did you perceive those to be aggressive towards you?
Yeah.
Now, you said also when you woke up, you talked to him on FaceTime, correct?
Yeah.
What was your conversation with him about?
He was just more so like, okay, so he was like, where you at? And I'm like, huh? And then he's like, where are you? Like, kind of like broke it down. And I'm like, instantly, I don't know, for some reason, I just told him the W. You know what I mean? And then he's like, no, you're not. That's a bum ass hotel. So I'm like, and then he's like, show me where you at. So then got up to bed and I kind of, the Lowe's Hotel is on Hollywood. The W is in Hollywood. So it kind of, everything kind of looked the same. So when I showed him outside, I think that was good enough to the point he believed I was at the W.
Okay. When you said you received this call, were you fully awake even when you started talking to him?
No, I was still asleep, kind of.
And you said he first asked you where are you at, and you said, I think you said
Yeah, I said,
and then you said he broke it down, where you at?
No, where are you? Like, where you at? Where are you? Like, kind of like with force the second time. Like,
Okay, that was even my question. What was his tone of voice when he said, where are you?
okay, so the first one was like kind of regular. After I said or whatever, the second one was just like, with, like, you know, it was a problem. Like, where are you? Like, where you at? Like, you know what I mean?
And you said that after you told him you were staying at the W, he called your room a bum-ass room.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I guess it's, it didn't look like the W.
Like not as nice?
I don't know.
How did you receive it?
Yeah, pretty. Like, I was still sleeping. I didn't care. I just wanted to show him outside the window, just figure out what the hell is going on. You know what I mean? Are we gonna link up? Like, what's going on? Like, what's the purpose of this call?
At the moment you're talking to him, did you have any idea why he wanted to meet up with you?
No.
Okay, you said you showed him Hollywood Boulevard outside of your hotel. What was the next thing that happened in your phone call after that?
I think he said he'd be right there. And then that's when I text Elijah, like, because then I'm looking at my phone and I'm noticing I got all these text messages. And like I said, Jamel texted me too and called me, but I don't like like that. So I like ills. I know ills, you know what I mean? So text ills. I'm like, what's going on? Pretty much.
Hold on.
I don't remember exactly what I said from that day because it was 3 years ago, but I hit ills to like kind of confirm like what's going on.
Yeah, and that's fine. At that point, did you know that 12B and Ills were with the defendant?
What do you mean? Like,
Did you know that the
come
three of
in?
them work together?
Like, come to link me?
No, I mean in general. That
Oh yeah, because it was on the plane.
Okay. And so when you received the messages from Ills and from 12B, you understood at that time that they were with the defendant, correct?
Yeah.
After your conversation let me clarify, when you say you're on FaceTime, was that FaceTime that also had video associated with it?
Yes.
So he could see you through the phone, correct?
Yes.
After your conversation with him, did the two of you make plans to meet up?
I mean, I didn't really make plans. It was kind of like link up. And I wanted to, I thought we were just going to talk and like really hash things out. Because this happened before, not like this, but like where we talk shit out, you know what I mean? And like I said, I call him Mr. 6 month man. I haven't seen him in a very long time. So maybe he hasn't read the room, you know what I mean? Like, okay, yeah.
You said in the past when you had problems with him, you felt comfortable just expressing that to him verbally and talking to him, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is that yes?
Yes.
And was that sort of something that had happened on multiple occasions where the two of you would talk and work out your problems verbally?
And I'm going to ask the lady to be curtailed a little bit, please, until we have that question.
Your Honor, we can
Can you say that again, please?
Was that something that had happened multiple times where the two of you would talk and work out your problems, or was that something that only happened once before?
I mean, if we worked out our problems, we wouldn't be here. So this was an ongoing thing of just like open and enjoying, you know, like promises or anything, you know what I mean? But I didn't care really. I was always working towards my goals at the end of the day, what I want to do.
Sure.
Accomplish out the situation.
I guess what I'm trying to listen or ask ask you about is, have you had problems in your relationship with the defendant prior to this?
I wouldn't say problem. I don't know. Me personally, I never had a problem with him, but I think he had a problem with me.
Okay. You say, I think the words that you used to describe what
No,
you
I
were-
actually do know he had a problem with me because in the text message, he says that I got him cut, like I let him get cut. And that happened a year something. So that means you're holding on a grudge and something I didn't even had nothing to do with.
Okay, we'll get there. Hold on.
I feel like that was our whole relationship, like just weird grudges. Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Are you saying that you felt like he had a problem with you, but you didn't have a problem with him? Is
Yeah,
that?
no, of course I didn't have a problem with him.
But you had sent him messages in the past where you had expressed, you know, your disappointment. You already said that, right?
Yeah.
So there
And I
was
think we have those text messages. The text messages, I always still, like, how you say it, like, complimenting him or big him up for his success. At the same time, like, you're doing bad.
Okay.
But then the same text messages, like, I never was, like, just straight out, like, oh, fuck you. I never said fuck you. I probably did, but it was like, real wishy-washy in the sense, like, love, like, I don't know, some, you know? But I never really got responses back from him.
I'm trying to understand, if you can, what your state of mind is as you're going to this meeting with him, or as you said, to link up with him.
My state of mind?
Yes.
I was feeling real confident because, like I said, I don't think he read the room. I'm doing really good for myself. So I felt like this is a time for me and him to like actually come to common grounds and be like, fuck the bullshit. You know what I mean? Because what are we doing here? Like you talk to everybody else like that. You're not talking to me like that. Nor am I accepting none of this. You know what I mean?
When you say read the room, what do you mean by that phrase?
Because why would you do what you did if you're not under? Say read the room is because like you're not reading the room, like you're not knowing who you're dealing with. You know what I mean? Like you're thinking you could just. He knows of me, but he didn't know what I was up to. So he probably thinking I'm a bum or I'm not like this person, somebody you could just have your way with.
Did you feel personally like your music career was becoming more successful?
Yeah, for sure. I was going in and out of label meetings.
Would you say at that point that was essentially the height of your career in the music business? Have you been more successful? Okay.
Yeah. In the music industry, yeah. Yeah, I was at my highest I ever been because I finally figured it out. I figured out how to make money back into everything. So I made my own label.
Sorry, and I don't mean to talk over you. My apologies for that. You said that going into this meeting, you were confident. Is that what you mean by?
It wasn't even a meeting. I wouldn't even call it a meeting. It was just like I'm linking up with Rocky. I haven't seen it do it in dumb long.
Yeah.
Like anytime you want, like you're gonna go link him. Like you know what I mean? Like I don't see the dude.
What does that phrase "link with him" mean to you? Are you saying something less, more informal than?
Like if, for instance, if we had a problem, I felt like it could have been hashed out the moment he seen me, but instead, it was like it got nasty.